Hi everybody, just want to talk about these two bikes really. They're both 350's and they're both made by Enfield. The difference is the black one here is 16 years older. So how far have they actually come? Two 350 singles, how different can they be? Well, they're very different. The 350 engine in this is a big long stroke affair, a small bore, big heavy flywheels, and it's got lots and lots of bottom end grunt. They don't like revving, they're not a revvy kind of an engine, all the power's made low down. So this one is a good bit higher geared than this one. This one's quite low geared compared with that, rev for rev. We've got cats chasing each other around again like we normally do. So this is a 350, also got quite a long bore, but not as long as the other one, but it's got little light flywheels, so it'll spin up quickly, and it'll rev as well. It thrives on revs. I mean, you can rev it to the rev limiter if you want to. This will rev as high as you like until something lets go, but you don't gain anything by ringing it out at all. This one is a bit easier in some ways to service than the classic, because when you do your valve clearances, you just undo that nut, take that cover off, and your two tappets are there. You just adjust them till there's do it when it's cold, until there's you can turn them. They're still free to turn, but there's no clearance on the push rods. Oil changes are a bit more of a faff, because you've got to take all this cover off to get have a look at the oil pump drive shaft gear, which I covered in another video, and top the oil filter up. But it's no big thing. It's not, none of it's a big thing. There's no ECU on this. There's no electronic fuel injection. No electronic ignition. It's all on points. It's 12 volt. Yeah. What else can I tell you about it? The gearbox is quite antiquated. It's quite slow changing, but it's quite positive. 4-speed, 1 up, 3 down, on the right hand side as well. Whereas its cousin here with the filthy casings, which I've got to clean up tomorrow on the day of polishing, it's left hand shift, so you've got to be able to switch. But this one has got electronic ignition. It's got a single overhead cam, where the other one is. And it's a bit of a faff to get to do the valve clearances. It means taking the tank off and stuff like that. So they haven't gained anything on that side of it. Yeah, you've got an ECU on it. You've got electronic fuel injection as well, controlled by the ECU. You've got disc brakes all the way around, single disc on the front and back. So this one is technologically more advanced in 16 years. I mean, it was a complete redesign, and it's sort of meant for the masses really. It's meant for everybody. It's all things to all people. Whatever they buy it for, it will do. Where this was made, I mean, basically it's a 1955 bike, although this one's 2006. This was sold as a no-nonsense, get you to work every day, have a bit of fun at the weekend, standard bike. That's what it was, and that's what it was sold as. No frills. It's got twin leading shoe front brake on the front, which is an improvement over the Redditch ones. Yeah, that's what it's got. What's it like to ride? It's really comfortable, believe it or not. Really comfortable. You can sit on that seat for hours. You just burble away. I've done 1 or 2 videos where I've been out on this one. This one's really comfortable. I've done 200 miles in a day on it. No problem. This one's a lot more fuel efficient than that one. You'll probably get 70 to the gallon if you try. Probably down to 60 if you don't. Which is not fantastic, but then again it's only about 7-to-1 compression ratio, where these are 9-to-1. The other thing, because all the oil, I think I've dealt with all this in another video, before the oil gets back to the tank, after it's gone to the big end and round everything, it has to go through the rocker feeds. So you need to warm the engine up so that the head is hot before you even think about going anywhere on it. It gives the chance for the heat in the head to get to the oil that's coming down the pushrod tubes and into here. And it doesn't really make any heat until you get the crankcases hot, so after a run. It takes forever to heat the oil up, especially winter time, where this one is air and oil cooled, where that one's just air cooled. This one's air and oil cooled, so you've got, I think it's 9 times the amount of oil going around the engine in this engine than in that one, which is a huge increase. So when you've got that kind of oil flow, you can use it to pick the heat up. I don't know what cools the oil, just the air going past the cases, I suppose, but it does run hot. The cases, you know, these cases here that need polishing badly, they can get red hot, you know. Yeah, it's 2 350's from the same manufacturer, but very, very different. Very different, because you've got 5-speed box on that, plus electric starter. You've got no electric starter on this, kickstart only, where on this you don't get a kickstart. So I like a kickstart. So out of the 2 bikes here, which is my go-to bike? Is this one. I like its simplicity. It's got charm, it's got character, it does everything I want it to and more. It's just a nice old thing. It's just mellow. It's not a sports bike, you're never going to go fast on it. I've got other bikes to do that on if I want, but it's just, you get people all asking you about it. I've just been down to Felixstowe to Wilco's, and the guy says, "Oh, Royal Enfield, I started with one of them." You always get one of those, and it's nice talking to people like that, you know. They're telling you their stories about Royal Enfields, and he said to me, "What made you start having Royal Enfields?" I said, "Well, I had Royal Enfields for a long while." But yeah, this one is just a thoroughly modern bike with some old bike's clothes on it, really. Made a nice job of it, and it does come up a treat when you polish it up, which I'm going to tomorrow, so no need to put it in the comments. Yeah, that's it. Nice old bike. But so's this one. I mean, I like all my bikes for all different reasons. You know, this has got more charm than the Red and Chrome Classic. But then again, the Red and Chrome Classic has got a charm of its own. It's hard to tell you, but there's just something about, you know, the hand painted lines on the tank, and you know, it's just the personal touch in it that the factory did to them. And I mean, they made them for so long. I think they made 20,000 a year, something like that, every year. And they were sold to the home market to start with. And the Indian people loved them. They were their staple bike. Now, why? We're all human beings, Indian, whether English or whatever. We're all human beings. What makes us like something? Because I think these were cheap and they could get them around the countryside reliably. So yeah, this has got some harkbacks to the earlier models. I like them all. I'm not saying that the pre-unit Bullet is a better bike than this. I'm just saying it's a different bike. Very different. Chalk and cheese. So, before you accuse me of all rambling on too long, I'm going to cut it off here, because I think I've said about everything I'm going to say about it. So I hope you enjoy it. It's just a bit of a look in at what my thoughts are on two of my bikes. That's all. Catch you on the next one. Bye bye.